G'day and welcome to this week's episode of Short and Sweet, your 5-minute guide to everything fall driving, camping and auto electrical. Now this week I'm talking 5 tips on how to stay warm while you're camping in winter. Now as always, make sure you hit the subscribe button and that notification bell so you don't miss anything in the series. So tip 1 is a pretty simple and obvious one, and that is to layer up. Layering up provides more insulation and stops heat escaping from your body. So while a lightweight sleeping bag might be perfect for warmer weather, on cooler nights you need something thicker. One great option is to get a double layer sleeping bag like this, with a removable inner lining that provides heaps more warmth. You can always put a sleeping bag inside another sleeping bag if you're in a pinch, but when you can get a comfy and multi-purpose bag like this, why would you? Another top idea is to increase the insulation below you while you're in bed. Adding an extra mattress increases the insulating layer, and even a mesh floor underneath your swag helps separate you from the cold ground. Tip number 2 is that while you're sleeping, make sure you leave one of your windows open to allow a little bit of airflow. This might seem like the opposite of what you want, but as you breathe out into your swag or rooftop tent, the warm, vapor-filled breath will cool down and condense, which can leave a layer of water on the inside of the canvas. In extreme cold, that can freeze, or it'll drip onto or soak into your bedding and make you much colder. Tip number 3 is to keep your head warm. There's an old myth that says you lose most of your body's heat through your head, but that's not strictly true. The reason you lose so much heat from your head, face and neck is because they're generally not covered in those warm insulating layers. So while you're out and about, throw on a beanie, and while you're in bed, make use of a hooded sleeping bag to really enclose those areas that would otherwise be exposed. Tip 4 is to get warm and then stay warm. It's much easier to stay warm than it is to warm your body back up if it does get cold. So light a fire and rug up. Also, it's important to try and find a protected spot. Then use your vehicle, your awning and awning walls to block out wind and weather. Plus, that'll help stop the cold, falling air landing directly on you as the sun goes down. But avoid getting too hot. Before you go to bed, don't get up to too much physical activity and don't get so hot next to the fire that you'll start to sweat. If you overheat, you can start sweating. As your body temperature lowers during sleep, the sweat will accelerate your cooling and you'll struggle to warm back up again. And finally, tip 5, to stay warm, make sure you're hydrated and eating properly. If you're dehydrated, your body limits the amount of blood flow to your skin and extremities, which can make you feel icy cold. And food is so important too. Not only because your body burns more energy to keep you warm in cold environments, but also because what you eat can affect your body's warmth too. Your body creates heat in order to digest and absorb food, and by eating complex carbs and protein, your body has to produce more heat for a longer time. So skip the snacks and eat a good solid campfire meal. And there you go, 5 tips on how to stay warm while you're camping in winter. Now of course, in Australia we don't have terribly cold temperatures, but it does get cold enough to ruin a good trip if you're not prepared. So the next time you feel a bit chilly, make sure you think about these tips. And as always, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss anything else in this awesome series.